those of you that follow this channel know that I have a bit of a thing for Voigtlander cameras, the Pico, the Vita Bs, and I really wanted a Bessa. Now there's lots and lots of Bessas, and they made them from the 1920s, but it's the 1950s Bessa for 120 6x9 cameras that often get a big following. Now there's a Bessa 1 and a Bessa 2. The Bessa 2 has a rangefinder and the Bessa 1 hasn't. I haven't been able to afford a Bessa 2 yet, and this Bessa 1 isn't perhaps the best example of its type, and I will explain why as I go through the video. But here we are with the Bessa. It's a manual camera. It has a Voigtlander Bessa lens, which wasn't the best lens. It's the most basic lens. It's a 4.5 lens, so that's moderately fast. Shutter speeds up to 250. An interesting thing on the top here, where you've got 6x9 infinity, so set the viewfinder by 6x9. If it's closer, you reset it, and that is 6x9 from 1 meter, so or 3 feet. So if you're doing portraits and you're closer, you change the viewfinder, and that affects the power out so that you don't chop people's heads off. So that's a really nice feature. You can put a mask in this camera to convert it to 6x4 centimeters, and in effect, when you're doing that, you are actually making it into almost a telephoto or portrait lens. So that's quite useful, and these are great for portraiture. The bellows are light proof. To use, you basically focus manually, or you can use a little pop-on rangefinder attachment if you are having problems focusing, but you have to guesstimate your focusing, set the focus, set the shutter speed, and then manually set the aperture. If you haven't got a light meter, as I've said before, you can use the sunny 16 rule, which states if it's sunny, it's f16, and then it goes down from there. This hasn't got film in, so I can demonstrate. To set the shutter, you bring it up and click. And the Bessa 1 has got, I thought it didn't have, but it has got a rind-on protection mechanism that you can't double expose, you have to rind on. The two the two red windows here, if you were doing 6x4, you alternate the windows there. I have put a film through this. I had two slight issues. One, I overdeveloped the film, and the other issue, this lens has a couple of marks. It looks like there's slight foreign objects like dust in the rear element, and it really needs cleaning. But let's look at the images. The first image was quite sharp, but a problem with this whole film is that I overdeveloped it, and in overdeveloping you have actually got some grain, which is something you don't really want with 120. However, the camera is proving itself to be sharp, but I was a little bit disappointed that I thought it could be a bit sharper. But for example, this image, which could be down to the user, I don't think I have actually got it in focus, where the other images on the film are in focus. It's that this one you can see at the edges it's not quite as sharp as it ought to be. This is from Waterloo Bridge in London. This was moderately sharp, but again, I think the problem could be, as I said, there seems to be some debris on the rear element, and I think that will be quite easy to actually get out. However, this last image I was actually quite pleased with, and it's taken with quite difficult lighting conditions on the way from Waterloo Station, but it's absolutely fine. So in conclusion, what do I make of the Voigtlander Bessa? I was, to be honest, a little bit disappointed, but I think it's more to do with the condition of my camera than the camera as a model. I look forward to being able to clean the lens, and we'll see what happens next. Many thanks for watching. Bye for now.